Not Monday, but I'm doing the who would win. Because I have to work Mondays, I think I'm just gonna bump the Monday who would win when I can't do it from Monday to Tuesday. But it's gonna be the two who would wins weekly that I do will be in the span of Monday through Wednesday. And James Reamer, right, asked the question: who would win the fight? Now, James, just sidetracking real quick. I know you watch my videos. I appreciate it. Thanks, man. Did give me a lot of horror themed who would wins. I'm not saying I won't do a couple of them here and there, but I have a lot of people giving me requests, so yeah. But I will try. I'm gonna probably save a lot of them for Halloween next year, but I'll get to one or two of them throughout my time throughout the year. Anyway, he asked the question, or you asked the question: who will win in a fight? Master, and I think I got this guy's name right. Xehanort from Kingdom Hearts series versus Emperor Palpatine, Darth Sidious. Now, at first, I didn't even know who this guy was. I've done Sidious before. Let's recap real quick on Darth Sidious, seeing as we're doing that. Darth Sidious is Emperor Palpatine, Sheev Palpatine to be precise. I don't remember an actual date of birth, but he was trained by the Sith Lord Darth Plagueis, who was arguably even stronger than he was, but that argument's to be made. He killed him in his sleep. He killed him in his sleep along with a few other things, methods of killing him, poison and all that. And he is considered one of the, if not the strongest Sith Lord in all history. He's, if nothing else, he's in the top 5, maybe top 3 argument. But he is immensely powerful. He is, telekinesis aside, that's just a given. Capable of mind probing. All the basic force abilities are available to him. But a couple of key force abilities he's very fond of. Force lightning, he can do it to the point where he can almost turn someone to ash, assuming they can't put up a good force wall or have any form of protection against him. Force pushing, he's very capable of telekinesis, as we saw when he threw the freaking Senate chairs at Yoda in that fight. He is a force augmentation. No less old man demeanor fool you, and he is decrepit. He with force augmentation, he is fierce fast. He took down 3 Jedi Masters in the span of about 10 seconds at max. And he fought Master Windu Mace Windu to a standstill. Lightsaber wise, there are very few individuals who could match this guy in a straight on duel. But then you get into like things like the extended universe, the not the canon. Sorry, the accountant's on in the background. I got the volume up. I really like the movie. I like the accountant a lot. Point being, and I just lost my track. Okay, yeah, I go to the expanded universe. He learned a lot about like Sith alchemy and magic, melding like organics and machines together. However, then you get into some of the weirds like possessing bodies. He can possess a body. If you don't have he grew clones of himself and possessed those youthful clones so he could do that, so he could live on for pretty much ever. He's so powerful that when he died, most Force ghosts had to basically conjoin their powers with the Force just to keep him locked in the afterlife. But then there's also the fact that he can create a Force Storm, which was pretty much a wormhole in space, like a cosmic storm wormhole in space. And it took the combined might of 3 or 4 Skywalkers to take him down to stop that attack and take him down. So yeah, Sidious. Now, if Sidious has any weaknesses, one, he is old, so it's hard to it's hard to say when you factor in force augmentation. The way I've always heard force augmentation, particularly in older bodied individuals like Dooku, Yoda, Palpatine, is that it's kind of like putting NOS in an engine. Yeah, you're going to get a lot of acceleration, but you're going to wear the engine out faster. That's why you see these individuals are so kind of decrepit in their older years. But also, he is arrogant. He does not think he can be. He thinks he's got the plan. He's the man with the plan. So if you maybe can challenge his confidence, then maybe you can just get that chink in the armor and just continue to go for it. Now, Master Xehanort is a villain from Kingdom Hearts. Now, he's also an older villain. In terms of physicality, he's not in the same disadvantage as say Palpatine is. Palpatine's overall just physically old. He can augment himself, but he's physically old. Xehanort, not so much. I mean, he's old, but he's still strong enough to be incredibly versatile in combat, strong enough to lift a character, like the main character, in armor over his head and throw him with one arm. And overall, still a very powerful combatant. Now he has a lust for power similar to Palpatine, but he seems that he actually knows, like, I'm not invincible. I can be defeated, but whatever. And I'll let you have this. You guys are nothing special. He seems to be actually more acknowledging of his own limitations, which actually makes him more dangerous because he knows his limits and he knows how to work around his limits. Now, the Keyblades were our big thing in the Kingdom Hearts universe. He wields his own Keyblade, respectively. And he is skilled. He's a very skilled swordsman in that. Usually he's using a lot of counterattacks, just casually walking towards an opponent and then just boom, boom, strike, strike. He's capable of being very dominant in his powers. But he also has a lot of magic as well. Particularly, I believe, is Blizzard, Earth, and Thunder-based magic. So lightning, Earth, and ice, respectively. He can also do thrusts of wind that could be considered to that could be comparable to a force push. He's also capable of telekinesis, capable of making his Keyblade move around at his own will. Also, teleporting out of harm's way to escape. Now, it's not explicitly stated if he can do that in combat, like Deadpool could be like, boop, boop, hey, I'm over here, or Nightcrawler, just versatility-wise. So it's... Excuse me. Had something on my face there. No, I wasn't. No, believe it or not, I wasn't palping his head. I thought I felt something on my face. Anyway, so he's extremely well versed in combat, but he's also old. He's not quite as prime as he used to be. He's also capable of possessing individuals, similar to Palpatine, similar to like a ghost or something like that. He's capable of possessing individuals. But the difference being is that the other person's heart, their soul, if you will, is capable of actually winning out. They can fight for dominance in the body, whereas Palpatine seems to just possess someone, unless they seem to have some sort of ability or just resistance to it. They seem incapable of resisting Palpatine. So I guess the question is, who's going to win this fight? Well, let's just assume that these guys' these guys' goals cross over to. So Palpatine's exploring the dark reaches of the universe, and he happens to reach the planets where the Kingdom Hearts stories are taking place. Yes, the Force is strong here. I sense the dark and the light. And Xehanort and Palpatine meet and say, oh, maybe we'll try working together. And then they'll work together for a little while and say, all right, this is the part where not. And I don't know what Xehanort sounds like. I didn't bother watching a video to listen to the voice. But yes, this is the part where I betray you now. It's like, so is the way of the Sith. I'm not a Sith. I'm just a scientist. I'm just a man looking to understand everything, like you. The difference is, and then pulls out his Keyblade. The difference is, and then he just pauses, like, come to think of it, I can't think of a difference really. And then just charges in, maybe wind magic, and the fight commences. Now Palpatine would easily just counter the wind with force push, and maybe despite his old decrepitness, something gets out of there, starts throwing things with telekinesis. He teleports out of the way and then kind of tries to strike at Palpatine with the Keyblade. Palpatine it grabs him, he realizes now he's being grabbed, and all of a sudden Palpatine suddenly feels himself being lifted. It's like, you're not the only one who can do this, Palpatine. And then they push each other back, both crash into the wall. Palpatine gets back up. It's like, it's like, yes, good, let the hate flow through you. It's like, you talk so much. Suddenly, fires earth magic, and there's a pillar of earth rises. He's on top of the pillar. All of a sudden, giant stone rocks start flying towards Palpatine. Palpatine's able to block a couple of... But unfortunately, so many are coming. Now he's got to get out of the way, just blocking. All of a sudden, he gets struck by cold air. A blizzard's coming through, ice magic, and he's starting to freeze and just... Now he's turns like, is this really all the great Emperor Palpatine has to offer? How disappointing. And all of a sudden, his fingers start cracking. Force lightning just it's like, it's like you will, sir. You will pay for underestimating me. Force lightning. He throws lightning. Their lightning's colliding. Just, even Xehanort's is like, okay, he's definitely a bit on the stronger side, but whatever. It's nothing I can't handle. So just throwing lightning back and forth a little bit, throwing more magic. Comes in now with the Keyblade, about to take him out. All of a sudden, just his Keyblade suddenly realizes it's like, huh? The Keyblade's cut in half, just because. Let's be clear here. Keyblade might be magical, whatever. As far as I know in the Kingdom Hearts series, which I admittedly I've never played them, I know a little bit about them. I know they deal with the Disney World and the characters and all that stuff, but I don't know a great deal about them. A Keyblade might be magical in origin, but it's no more indestructible than a really durable blade shaped like a key. So, yeah, a lightsaber would probably be able to cut through it. Now, there's materials lightsabers can't cut through, but there's no evidence, as far as I can tell, that would say a Keyblade is one of those things that can't be cut by a lightsaber. So now he realizes that his Keyblade just got cut, and all of a sudden, Palpatine is just on him. Now he's got to backpedal the hell out of there. But Sheev is so relentlessly aggressive and powerful when he as a duelist that he just teleports behind him a couple feet. But Palpatine predicts this and then just force push that and just and then gets smacked around. Now he's being ragdolled for a while. Tries to teleport again. Fortunately, she figures him out again. It's like, he's like, you're a predictable boy. He calls him a boy. He's old man too. He's like, all of a sudden, but as he's about to go in, so suddenly says, "That now you want power. You want to know the true power is. Experience it. Now experience it. Power, unlimited power." He's getting electrified. Just, but he's not down and out either. He's a pretty tough cookie, so he's only just throws just at random a giant pillar of earth. Just boom, then Sheev just gets boom. If you remember Avatar: The Last Airbender, where Toph did this technique too, but where Jet got that freaking column to the chest, basically, and it's more likely implied that Jet didn't make it. That's pretty much what he would do to Palpatine, and Palpatine just. Palpatine's also, I think, capable of some force healing too, but and maybe he does that a bit to recover, but he's in Xehanort now. He's in pain though. Now he's hurting. Palpatine's without his lightsaber. He does another teleportation. This time he teleports in. Now he normally does it to get away. I would imagine he could do it also to just transport himself from place to place if he needed to. He now gets right in front of him, gets in front of Sheev, and then just starts wailing into Sheev. Now here's the thing. If Palpatine has any skill-based weakness, it is that, as far as I can tell, Palpatine is not a melee fighter. In fact, he doesn't even like using a lightsaber. He feels it's beneath him. He feels that a real Master of the Force, a real Darkseid user, a real Master of the Force, a real Sith doesn't need a lightsaber. In fact, Plagueis kind of felt the same way too. Doesn't mean he's not skilled with it. He's one of the most skilled duelists in the in Star Wars universe. But yeah, that's the way. But if there's one thing I've never seen Sheev been able to do, I've never seen Palpatine able to do, I have never seen him in a fisticuffs at all. I have never seen him physically, Windu we saw like in the Clone Wars series. Most of the Jedi we've actually seen, use physicality in some way, unless their physicality is not tailored to that, like Yoda. So I admitted that Xehanort actually starts getting there and starts wailing into Sheev a bit. Now I keep using his real name, Sheev. I like saying Sheev. Starts just boo, boo, boo. Starts wailing in, just boo, do, 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 do. Just do it, and then now Palpatine's trying to get him to work up the ability and counterattack, but Xehanort's probably just not giving him the room. He's still got part of his Keyblade. He can still start wailing in him. Palpatine now is pushes him back enough to give him his room, grabs his lightsaber, and then just slices him, and even Xehanort's just like, foolish boy, you thought you could defeat me. You thought that Darth Sidious could be defeated by a novice like you. And all of a sudden he starts, what? you doing? And all of a sudden, Sheev starts convulsing. Suddenly, and I don't know how it actually happened in the game. I didn't look it up per se for this, but I'm imagining the light going out of his eyes, Xehanort, and all of a sudden, a similar starting to go into Palpatine, and Palpatine's just. He's starting to try to take over Palpatine in the last resort. Just you, and it's like you might be old, but your power seems to surpass even mine. You will make a fitting vessel until I can get the next body, until I can get something a bit younger and more suitable. But as he's doing that, he's suddenly finding himself walled basically by the rest of Palpatine's personality, because between the two, Palpatine has never had resistance. Palpatine has always been like the dominating force in whatever body he took. As far as I can tell, Xehanort has had problems in the past. In fact, there's points where he's been rejected by the body and the personality of the person whose body he took. So, and Palpatine is no slouch. So for a little bit it will work, but now he's getting kicked out of Palpatine's body. He's like, oh, no, I can't stay in here. And I don't know, let's say there's a henchman over yonder, possessed the henchman, just, he's much stronger than you look, Palpatine. Perhaps we'll do this again sometime. All of a sudden he's hearing crackling, and he's like, no, we won't. And then suddenly he sees a giant storm of just cosmic wormhole force power just crashing. He's like, damn. And he's too tired to teleport at this point. Damn it. Boom. And then just, obliterated pretty much. So, yes, I give the overall win to Darth Sidious, Sheev Palpatine, Emperor Palpatine. I give him the win because when you really look at this, and again, I didn't look into everything for Xehanort immediately. Maybe he's got a power I didn't find that would be the real tipping factor. Or maybe he's got multiple versions of spells that I just didn't go over. But the problem is that they share a lot of similar abilities, and like for instance, possession. They both can possess. Both have the ability to use lightning. Both have the ability to use telekinesis. Both are swordsmen. But when you do those four things, telekinesis-wise, as far as I can tell, as far as I looked up, Xehanort's never done anything like lifting a freaking Senate at someone and with their mind, pretty much. Swordsmanship, they might be comparable, but yeah, the key difference here is Sidious has got a lightsaber that would probably cut through his Keyblade. Force lightning or lightning ability, I might actually give the edge to Xehanort on that, just because he can actually throw out just pure lightning bolts and lightning attacks, whereas Sheev's got lightning abilities with force lightning, no doubt, but still. And then possession, she wins in that way as well, because Palpatine has never had issue with possessing individuals, while Xehanort has. And then if you take their obscure abilities out of the equation, then you're talking about, mind tricks probably wouldn't work on Xehanort, but then you're talking about Force Storm, you're talking about just overall long-term combat experience, Force augmentation on Sidious' part. In the long term, I just think Sidious is just more rounded and overall more powerful in terms of his actual raw power than Xehanort is. I could be wrong. If you think I'm wrong, that's cool. Let's just have a cool conversation, a fun conversation about it. Percentage wise, I guess the question is, do I see a scenario where Xehanort wins? I don't see him winning through possession. That's a certain. That's a given. I could possibly see him like using some telekinesis and catching Palpatine off guard with like the fragments of his Keyblade, because I see that Keyblade getting destroyed in the fight, and maybe just like getting him in the head and killing him. I could see him zapping Palpatine with the right amount of lightning at some point. I can see a win. I think it's only like a 20% win, though. I do think he's in better shape than Palpatine, too. He's just physically stronger than Palpatine and a far better physical combatant than Palpatine in terms of that regard, in terms of actual physical health and shape, and probably in like hand-to-hand combat skill. So that's I'll actually bump it up a little bit. I'll go 75 to 25 in favor of Palpatine. But yeah, I don't have high expectations as Xehanort in this fight. But hey, if you think differently, again, that's cool. That's what being fans of this kind of stuff is all about. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. As always, you want us to review something, put in the comments below. Let us know. We'll do a review of it at some point. If you have ideas for what would win, Star Wars, Superhero Magic, What If, anything I do on the channel, put that in the comments below as well. I'll get to it at some point. I'm going to pre-record my who would win for Wednesday, tomorrow as well. Also for Magic, I am doing a Magic video this week, but because just I'm working pretty much every day this week, this was actually my day off. I'm going to save it because right now we got unstable spoilers going on right now. So the next unset in Magic, which a lot of people have been asking for, and I will actually admit this is the first set that I've looked at that I'm going. I'm not entirely sure I'm down. I'm digging that, but we'll get to that. We'll get to that. If you're not familiar, I'm what I might be talking about. I'm commenting on contraptions. I'm not sure, just because I'm not sure certain I fully understand how they're supposed to work. But hey, what I'm gonna actually do is I'm just gonna do a roundup video at the end of the week. That's what I'm gonna do instead. Until then, though, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next.